What's up, guys? I have a bit of a different crew here for today. I'm very excited to discuss Insomniac Spider-Man. The game looks great. I am interested in it. I can't wait to play it. I really do want to see more of it before I get into it, of course. But there is something that's going around in the community, as per fucking usual. Like as per usual, people are losing their shit. I see a lot of Xbox guys, and I think it's mostly people who aren't in this community in general. Just people just being like, when is this game going to come to the Xbox? And Insomniac's like, never. And then they're like whining and bitching and moaning about it. And I'm like, just buy a PlayStation. It's really not that big of a deal. Like, get over it. If you want something, save up the money to get it. And I said that a few days ago or yesterday or something. I don't remember. And I got a lot of backlash from that post. Like, people were like salty. They were super fucking triggered. And I ignored all of them because I don't care about their opinions. But, I mostly said it just because, like, yeah, it was annoying me, but also because I was bored and I wanted to see how many people I would upset. So, hence, it was like over 25 to 30 people, I'm just saying. And a lot of people were like, well, I don't need to buy a PlayStation because blah, 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 and this and this and this. I'm like, why are you responding to my post if it doesn't have anything to do with you? And then yesterday I woke up in a bad mood, and then I saw someone was like, I don't know what they said because I don't remember, but I ended up blocking them for like giving me an attitude because, I'm a bitch. So there was that. But, if you guys want to introduce yourselves, go ahead. Tyler, first time on the show. What's up, bro?
Yeah, I'm good. Like, the whole drama with the Insomniac stuff is I've completely ignored it because it's just, I'm interested in the game, but it's not really my thing. I'm not part of that community, so it's just flown right past me.
Okay. And go ahead, Enrique.
Hey, what's up, everyone? It's Enrique from Brap. Happy to be back on Luca's podcast. Luca, thanks for having me on again.
You're always welcome.
I absolutely love doing podcasts with you. They're always fun. So thanks for having me on again. Appreciate it.
Yes. And I don't want to say your real name. What do you go by?
By me?
Not you.
Oh, right. Yes. Hi. So on Twitter, you'll see me as Petmore. That's Petmorr. But you can call me David because David's my name.
Okay, I'm just making sure. All right. No, that's David. Cool. Yeah.
Well, thank you, Luca. Thank you very much for inviting me on today. I haven't done anything podcasty in a wee while, so this is nice way to kind of, if you like, dip my toe back in and see what's happening. So very interested to see what everyone's got to say today.
Yeah, and then Craig said he was going to join, but I don't know where that bitch is, so we'll see. And my regulars, honestly, at this point in my life, it's like, who the fuck can I rely on? These dudes are all like, yeah, Luca, I'll be there for you. And yet time comes and I don't see anyone. What the fuck, man? But let's see, people in the chat. What's up, Maya, Rossetti, Neverland? I thought you said more drama. Top Fraud, how's it going, bruh? Bang House, how's it going? But yeah, let's get into this. So this game is really causing a stir. People are getting really upset about it. It's pretty funny to see. But, before we get into the meat and potatoes of things, let's talk about our general thoughts on the game. I think it looks great. I'm excited for it. I'm really utilizing my PlayStation. I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't use it at all last year because I was on my Xbox, right? But ever since Persona 5, I've been on my PlayStation heavy. I'm actually contemplating upgrading to the Pro. That God of War PlayStation's fucking hideous though. But I want to see what that Spider-Man PlayStation's going to look like. Also, I might have to wait because I need to fix my car. My car is fucked up. So, that's another story for another time. So I might have to wait a bit longer before I can upgrade to the Pro. But I'm very excited for the exclusives that are coming out this year, like God of War, Detroit Become Human, and Spider-Man. So what do you guys think about the game? Anyone? Oh, Craig, you showed up. I was just talking shit about you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you had said 12, and I misinterpreted what you had said. I didn't know what time zone you were in.
Oh, okay.
So I do apologize, and I apologize to the panel for being late. And
it's okay.
But yeah, hello everybody. Craig Harris, how you all doing today?
Good. How are you doing, bro?
Okay. Thanks for the vine, Miss Luca. I appreciate you having me on.
Oh yeah. So as I was saying, I was just asking everyone what they think about the game. You can go first, David.
Okay, thanks, Luca. So, I kind of need to fess up here and say I don't have a PlayStation.
Mhm.
Now, I have been gaming for a long, long time. I've had a PlayStation in my past. It was a PS1, and then I got a 360, and I've kind of been in the Xbox camp pretty much ever since. And part of that's that investment into the digital infrastructure where my games stay with me and they come with me and I can play with them. So, I get that. This is not to say that Sony doesn't have amazing games. And for me, there are two games that are coming out this year that make me go, oh gosh, that looks like that would be really fun. One of them is Detroit Become Human, and I just love the premise for that, and the visuals look amazing. And I kind of hope the game lives up to all the hype that's around it and doesn't become another one of those ones where the visuals look amazing and then you actually play it and they're not quite so amazing and the gameplay's not quite so good. So I kind of keep my fingers crossed it's not that. But my thing with Spider-Man is Spider-Man looks brilliant. Spider-Man looks like everything you would want in a superhero game. You get to swing around, you get to do the web stuff, you do the combat. Is there a thread to join that? Because all I've seen is the demonstration stuff, pretty much the same as everybody else, and yeah, it looks brilliant. It's
So
one of
you're
those.
picking up a PlayStation?
I don't know. It's one of those things where I need to think very carefully about that one. But I am not in the camp of when are you bringing this game to Xbox, because I know that it's not. It's an exclusive, and for some reason people have a problem with that. In the same way that people were going right when Sea and Thieves came out, and they're saying, "Oh, we need this on PlayStation." And it's like, guys, you need to understand, it's first party. It's just not going to go there. It's not going to happen. The fact that this is Insomniac that's made it's neither here nor there. This is Sony's game. It's not going anywhere. This is not timed exclusive or anything else. So for me, it's one of those games that would really, really tempt me to pick up a PlayStation. And I think for it to be that, it has to be special. So I think this looks like a really special game.
Yeah, I agree. All right, go ahead, Enrique.
I agree. I think this game looks fantastic, and we all know about the pedigree behind Insomniac Games. They make great games. You look at the game they did for the Xbox, Sunset Overdrive. It's probably the best Xbox game out, exclusive, in my opinion. I know a lot of people. I should say a lot of people. I know most people haven't probably played that game. If you haven't, I highly recommend you try out Sunset Overdrive because it is so good. It's so much fun. The traversal is great. The gameplay is great. The story's a lot of fun. And this game, some of the web slinging and stuff, the traversal and Spider-Man reminds me a little bit of Sunset Overdrive. It's so fluid. And my understanding is this is going to be the biggest world or set piece of any Spider-Man game, which has me really excited. And I haven't been, look, for me, like the Spider-Man games haven't always been really good games for me. But given Insomniac's pedigree and what I've seen, I'm really excited for this one. I think this might be a very special game for the Spider-Man franchise, and so I really hope it turns out well, and I think it will, just given what I've seen and just given Insomniac's pedigree. So I can't wait for September 7th. I'm not getting the collector's edition. I wish I could, but my wife would kill me.
Okay. What about you, Craig?
Yeah, as far as the games that are coming out, Detroit Become Human was my top game as far as what the game I was looking forward to this year from Sony. Microsoft, yeah, I know they're gonna have their games too. As far as Spider-Man is concerned, I was just podcasting. I was really trying to educate people on something that something David was really talking about was people have to understand that Sony bought Spider-Man from Marvel for $7 million in 1998. So I was surprised at the vitriol at Insomniac Games, because all Insomniac did was they just made the game. Sony took the idea to them. But as far as the game itself, the game really looks good. I have to see how it plays. I'm excited. Hopefully Miles Morales is a playable character. I think that would be cool. I watched the 100. I don't know. It's online. The 100 questions with the guys who did Spider-Man, and one of my favorite questions was there was a building with an A on it. What is that? And the guy said, well, if you have to ask that, you don't need to be asking the question. So, but yeah, I'm excited for it. I'm disappointed with some people that with the vitriol. You know, I thought it would be some vitriol, but not to this level. I mean, I got a DM this morning that they said that Insomniac may start reporting people to Twitter.
Good.
So you guys need to not, whoever's doing it, it's spam or sock accounts, you got just knock it off. I mean, it's unfortunate. Spider-Man is the most popular superhero in the world as far as sales. So a lot of people love it, you know? So I understand people being upset, but not to this level. It surprised me.
Totally with you on reporting people to Twitter, because devs don't need that shit. They just don't. And they shouldn't have to put up with it. It's as simple as that. There's a contractual situation. Insomniac cannot change that or influence that. Anyone thinks that Sony would, under any circumstances, release that game onto another platform kind of really needs a sense check and takes a moment out to do that. But so anybody who's given Insomniac abuse, just grow up. Grow up.
It's really immature to attack devs, but you know, people in this community are fucking nuts. So there's that. But go ahead, Tyler.
Well, as known, if you've obviously, I'm a bit of a DC person, so Marvel things aren't really my sort of thing that I go out and go, I fancy picking up a PlayStation for that. And it takes a special game to make me go out and buy a specific console, like I did last year with Horizon Zero Dawn. And controversial opinion here, didn't like that. So when a game that's from a company that I don't like, from a platform, from somebody that doesn't like buying platforms, if I'm wanting to buy a PlayStation, and I'm going to, for one game, then that's quite a feat. And I trust Insomniac to go out and make a good game. Because the last good Spider-Man game we had was about 14 years ago now. It was 12, one of the two.
It's well said. Definitely well said. Well, okay, cool. I'm glad that most of us are excited for the game, and you know, honestly, I can't wait to see more of it. And I'm not too worried about it. I think, from what I've seen so far, I think it'll be a good game. I think I'll enjoy it. Spider-Man is my favorite superhero. You know, just hands down. I'm a DC person like Tyler, but Spider-Man's my favorite. And I don't typically go out and buy superhero games though. Like that's not something I've ever been interested in. But you know, from what I've seen so far, it looks great, and I really hope there's a Spider-Man themed PlayStation console, because that shit like that. Like okay, I hope they do one, and I hope it looks better than that God of War one, because I fucking hate that God of War one. So.
If they don't do a special edition console for Spider-Man, somebody at marketing needs taken out and, you know, given a telling to. I'm
like
trying
literally
not to be,
though.
Yeah, but it's like, what? Do you know what? If you have that with the spider logo and the red background and the silver, and like people are just going to go nuts over that.
Absolutely.
Nuts.
Absolutely. Go ahead, bro.
It's what they should do. I don't know if you've ever seen the Metal Gear Solid 5 PlayStation 4. They should do something with that color, because that's an incredible looking doorstop. But that's besides the point. The design of the console itself, but the color scheme and that worked out quite well. So you put a bit of Spider-Man branding on that, then that's a console that will sell. Well, the thing is, anything were better than the God of War one that's just a PS Move controller with some crayons slapped on it.
I mean, but like literally though, I'm just saying, you know, just call me a hater. It's whatever. Oh, and also shout out to a Grown Woman Gaming podcast. They're live right now. You know, check them out when you know you guys are done with us. But let's get into it. So, like I was talking about earlier, I've seen some bitches crying on Twitter about this game, and I've also seen people using this game as a weapon. And I'm just over here like with a question mark over my head. Like, why is it that every time, you know, news comes out about either God of War or PlayStation's Spider-Man, that it's like, oh, great, this game looks great. Fuck you, Xbox. What do you have, Xbox? Xbox, you suck. Fuck you, Xbox fans. Oh, you guys don't get anything like this. And it's like, why can't we just be happy that the game's coming out? Automatically, it's like automatically a fucking weapon. And it's just like, okay, like people, I don't know. It's like people can't fucking help themselves. It's like they can't bring up a PlayStation game without bringing up Xbox, and it's like that vice versa as well. You can't bring up anything Xbox related without someone bringing up PlayStation, and it's just kind of like, okay, this is cool. This is a Xbox centric podcast, or this is a PlayStation centric podcast, but all you guys do is talk about the other team. So what are we doing here?
I think all that's kind of really, really strange. For me, and you know, I kind of don't want to say it's the modern technology, but Twitter lets people be arseholes, you know. And the thing is, these are the kind of conversations we would have in the arcades and around the coffee table when you were talking to your friends about, oh man, that game looks amazing, looks really good, I'm really looking forward to it. And you would have conversations in relatively contained groups of people who would have similar enthusiasms. Now, Twitter and Discord or whatever lets you get out into different places, and that's great. That's fantastic. But it also means that people say, I disagree with you because I can. And you know what? We just need to shut that down. And a properly voiced opinion is one thing, but someone saying, I hate you because you've discussed something on a thing that I don't like, it's like, that's just not worth engaging with. And for me, I think the technology allows people to be idiots, and we should just ignore them in the same way as we would ignore them if we ran into them in the street.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree with that 110%. Ignore them. And I used to like get on my soapbox and like talk against this stuff, and I stopped doing it as much because no one listened. and people just for whatever reason want to hate on what other people like, and I'll never understand that. And it's crazy because the common thread that bonds us all is that we're all gamers and we all love gaming. And if gaming was to end tomorrow, we'd all suffer equally. And so it's probably just stupidity. And that's what I've chalked it up to. Just people being stupid, immature. The sad part is some of the people that are engaging in this behavior are fairly old. So that's a little scary at times. It's just nonsense. And Luca, it's so funny when I saw that tweet, you were like, why are people using Spider-Man as a weapon? I just laughed because I'm like, she's so right. They really are. And it just becomes this back and forth thing. And, you know, I think I'll say this much. Like, I think there's a conversation to be had like about, because I own all platforms, and every time I see like a new Sony IP or a new exclusive IP come out, for me, it does say, okay, well, you know, this is an area where Microsoft's falling short. But the same token, like when Microsoft announces services, new things that I think are cool, again, it's like, okay, this is an area where Sony falls short. I think you can have that conversation, but, and you can disagree, but I think that we need to learn to at least have some kind of civil discord with each other. And that's just really lacking in the gaming community right now.
Oh yeah, everyone is trash in my opinion. What do you what do you think, Craig?
Oh, what do I think? I'm sorry.
Right, bro.
I mean, I kind of had a feel on this one. Bottom line is, why are they using Spider-Man as a weapon? My hypothesis is that for 18 months, all they've heard is the beast is coming. That's all people have heard. And now that it's here and it's underperforming, I've got one. I don't want anybody to sit there like, I've got an Xbox X, okay? So you have to kill the noise. Anybody in that chat that doesn't think I have one. It's underperforming. It's not one in NPD. As far as Xbox, it's not one in NPD. And that to them unvalidates all this stuff that was said about it. So when a game like Spider-Man comes out, no, go ahead.
Well, the thing is, I don't think it's going to win NPD because it's a $500 console. People now, at the end of the generation, have their console. They've bought it. They've bought games for it. They've built up trophies. People on PS4, which is the bigger player base, aren't going to run out and buy a $500 console and then have to buy new games for it. In the same way, if you don't have...
I was going to say, I agree with that. But that's what people tried to say. But they were shouted down, called haters, you're jealous, you're afraid. Now they have something to go back at them with, which is wrong. Let me make that clear. It's wrong, okay? Because I agree, everybody at the end of the day is gamers. I love what one of you guys just said. If they ended gaming tomorrow, we would all suffer, you know? So, I think that's why they're doing it. And I mean, again, I took screenshots of MLB The Show. Came out a couple weeks ago, and I posted them on Twitter. It's like, man, game looks great, looks sharper this year. Somebody put down, it looks like trash, and Forza 7 is a better looking game. And again,
I feel like
you know,
I feel like the vocal minority there.
I agree.
Because,
I agree 100%. It's a vocal minority of people that are out there. This, like you said, Twitter, the internet allows people to be pretty much anonymous, you know. So and are pretty anonymous to what they think. But but that's why it's being. That's my hypothesis on why it's being used as a weapon. You'll hear people say, "What's Microsoft going to do to compete with this?" And I always say, nothing. They're moving in a different direction. You either understand the direction that they're going and you support it, or you're going to be upset with what they're doing. That's what I'm seeing. That's the consternation that I'm seeing. The people who bought the X and understood what the X was are happy with it. They're enjoying it. The people who thought the X was going to be a paradigm shift, they're the ones who are, they're the minority, because a majority of people are playing. Let's give a big shout out to the people that are playing. But a minority of them who thought a paradigm shift was going to happen. I actually heard people say things like the games are going to look so much better that people are going to abandon the Sony platform. And when they come over to the Xbox, the developers will come over to the Xbox. And that's not happening. And a lot of them are having to eat crow and they don't like it. And I agree with the conversation need to be had. I'm about to shut up. But when you try to have the conversation, you ultimately get wrapped up in going back and forth. Even though if that's not what you intended, that's what ultimately starts happening. It's happened to me. I'm guilty as hell. I am guilty as hell of that. So that's why I shipped today on my own podcast. Like, look, I said Insomniac created Spider-Man. Sony owns Spider-Man. Don't blame Insomniac. Go at Sony because they own the IP. That's why I tweeted that this week.
Go ahead, Taylor.
I feel like if they could, Insomniac would want it to launch on all consoles because they want to share their game. But obviously, this is the big Sony. This isn't Sony Interactive Entertainment we're talking around here. Sony aren't going to just throw their rights around because they've only just given it to Marvel, and Marvel are making billions with every film that they put out. So you're arguing with not only the interactive part.
See, there's not an argument to be had here. It's contractual. Do you know? Sony own it. Sony are not going to share it. Here endeth the discussion. There's nothing more to be said. You can shout at Insomniac all you like, and I'm absolutely not endorsing that, but it's not going to change one damn thing. And what people need to get to grips with is this is going to be a Sony exclusive. Talking about NPD is irrelevant at this time of the generation. It doesn't matter because there's so many.
Lost, so who cares?
What everybody wins because
I'm just saying. It's like they lost his gin,
There's no losers here.
I know that
we're all winners.
So in terms of absolute volume of consoles sold, Sony is knocked it out the park completely. There's the whole thing about will they use the 360 playbook to do that? That's for another conversation. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because fundamentally what we've got are tens of millions of consoles which are Xboxes and tens of millions of consoles which are PlayStations out there. And a developer sells 3-4 million copies of a game and they're dancing down the streets because they've done their job. So there's enough of an audience out there for people to sell their games to. Now, for Insomniac to make a game for it to be worth their while, Sony have to do the contract in the right way. That means, guys, you're only going to sell 2 million, 3 million, whatever that number will be, and I'm not even going to speculate on it. And then Insomniac go and make it, and they get their money, and then they get the percentage of the sales and all the rest of it, and everybody's happy. But there's so much of an audience out there for people to go and play games. You really shouldn't be getting upset about exclusives because they are what they are.
We're at a point in the generation where you can go out and buy a PS4 for 250 quid. You don't have to buy the Pro. The Pro is a premium product. when people go, "Oh, I don't have money to buy an exclusive." If you want an exclusive enough to bitch about it to developers on Twitter that are just doing their job, then you have time to put 20 quid away a month and go out and buy a PS4. It's not difficult.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. I don't like when people complain about stuff that they can easily fix, and then the whole, well, I don't have enough money for this. I mean, okay, if you really want something, put away $5, $10, $15, $20 each paycheck and slowly start saving up. It may take a long time, but eventually you'll have enough money to buy what you want. That's typically what I do. I like just start putting away money, like, oh, okay, I want this. You know, I'm a responsible adult. I have bills to pay. I'll just start putting aside a certain amount of money, and then I'll get what I want eventually.
Yep.
And you look at the pre-owned market there. I mean, there is such a lot of pre-owned consoles available through, I'm thinking of like a Game in the UK, but there are other places that do.
Where I work.
Yeah.
We're selling PS4 Pros for 300 quid.
And that's a pre-owned one, and it comes with what, 12 months warranty, and it's like, well,
we get 12 month warranty, everything. The only difference to that on a new one is 50 quid, and you get it in a new box.
Do you know? So I asked the question. So what? You know, if you want to play the game, you just want the console. Does it matter? It's maybe not quite as shiny as it would be if you took it out the Sony box, and maybe you get off on whiffing those fumes when you open something out of its box and you get that new thing. Yeah, if you want it, you can get it. Fundamentally, and I think, look, as you were saying earlier, am I going to get a PlayStation? I'm like, oh, I might do, you know, because it's getting to the point now where there's games there where I can only play there, and man, they look good games, you know.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Let me ask you guys something. What do you think of this whole argument of exclusives don't matter? Because that's another.
Oh, that's not true.
That's another talking point that I've seen kind of rear its ugly head again with the whole Spider-Man thing.
I would say that exclusives don't matter as much as they used to, you know, but they are still very important because as something like, you know, I posed a question today on Twitter, and I said, why would anyone buy an X if they're still going to play their multi-plats on the PlayStation? I got a bunch of different answers. I don't think people understood what I was trying to ask them. Like, I was asking them, why would you waste $500+ on a system that you're only going to play the exclusives on? Mind you, the exclusives the ones that we know that are coming up don't really utilize the power of the X except for Sea of Thieves Water and, you know, whichever Forza game we get this year. And it's like, okay, I don't get why you would spend that kind of money if you don't play your multi-plats on the X. I play all of my multi-plats on the X because, you know, it's more powerful, and I like power. And I like what's up?
But it makes sense.
You carry on.
No, yeah. And so, like, I just don't get it. And then I got like a bunch of people responding to me like, oh, for the exclusives. I'm like, I'm not sure. Listen, I'm not trying to be a bitch, okay? But what exclusives are utilizing the power of the X that aren't Gears or Halo? Because those games are extremely old. You know what I mean? Like, not extremely old, but like, you know.
By utilizing power, do you mean by enhancing the games, or do you mean that the games run as using the technology? Because I could list Crackdown 3 and State of Decay 2. They're running at native resolutions.
Yeah, that being said, we haven't seen what how those games actually are going to be, like how they're going to perform yet, because they're not out yet. You know what I mean? We haven't seen anything about Crackdown since what, Gamescom last year, right? And then it's like, wait, hold on, bro. And then it's like, I want to see something built from the ground up by like one of Xbox's first-party studios that completely utilize the power of the X in terms of graphics.
Yes,
fidelity.
I feel like we're too late for that.
Well, see, I'm just going to say Halo 6, whenever that appears, will be.
Yes, I definitely.
It will be the X showcase. It will.
But that's the
sear
point.
Your eyeballs with the power.
Whenever it appears, you know.
It'll be a next showcase, but we're only a couple of years away from the next generation.
Yeah.
Well, see, I'm not convinced that's right. I think the question about whether exclusives are important is more important earlier in the generation. So when Sony and Xbox were going to toe early on, exclusives matter. Now Sony turned that narrative of we've got more power and we've got better games. And then they got the third-party marketing deal, so people listened and people went and did their thing. At this point in time, I just don't see it being as anywhere near as important. But I think the idea of having Spider-Man 2 on the PlayStation 5 whenever it comes, that's got to be something that that'll be a console seller.
Yeah.
Because people have seen the first game, think that's great, and it's going to have all these extra stuff. It's going to be even better. Wow, we can go and do that.
Yeah, but before you go, Tyler, what's up, All Day?
What up? What up?
All Day's at breakfast right now. Lucky bastard. I'm hungry too.
I know, right?
Oh, you got IHOP right now, man?
No. Matter of fact, I just left. It's too late now, so I gotta settle for something else. Nah, but we guys talking about Crackdown. I mean, I played Crackdown 3. The vertical slice that I did play, it wasn't anything special, or it just looked like Crackdown 1 with, sharper resolution, and it didn't really blow me away. But that's not a final product. So,
well, I feel like games are subjective. I didn't like Horizon Zero Dawn, but I really might like Crackdown. It's all about you buy the console where the games that you like are on. If you really, really, really like Spider-Man, you're going to buy a PS4, aren't you?
Yeah.
It's simple as that. But if you, let's say I go, I'm a massive Gears of War fan, I'm going to go buy an Xbox. It's not about you play, it's subjective, and people are saying it's all just, it just hurts my head how ignorant people can be on the internet.
Hardhead in the chat is saying he's asking me about how you played Crackdown all day, and I'm about to tell him that you go to like PSX and E3 and stuff. So
no, I went to a private Xbox event after E3 was over, and they had all their games on the show floor, and Crackdown 3 was one of them that was playable.
Okay, yeah.
But like I said, this whole Spider-Man thing, I mean, look, my personal opinion, I think everybody should get a chance to play Spider-Man. It should be on all consoles, but that's not the case. So if you really want to play Spider-Man, just get a PS4 or just purchase the game.
Yeah, that's how I feel about it too.
Just like I feel the same way about Street Fighter. That should be on all consoles, right? But that's not the case. So if you want to play it, go buy PS4.
Or PC.
Simple. Or PC. Very simple.
Yeah, I can't disagree with that. That makes the most sense to me. I think it's also generational. Oh, let me ask you, think some things are generational? Because I see a lot of the people doing the complaining, they look like millennials. And millennials are a group of people who didn't invent anything, had everything handed to them.
Okay, I would like to point out that I am 25, you motherfucker. Like, we're not fucking doing this shit. The people I see, I don't see any fucking millennials on fucking Twitter crying and bitching about pieces of plastic like I see with you old folk.
That's not true.
Okay, so we're gonna fucking doing this shit right now. If you want me to be disrespectful, I can be disrespectful, okay?
No, I didn't want that.
Like, you need to remember who the fucking show you are on.
Hey, Craig, I just want to say,
youngest person in this fucking show right now. How dare you?
Okay,
Craig, that's aggressive, man. That's an aggressive stance,
Your
man.
generation, I don't think is millennial. I thought millennials cut off at 28. But I
don't know. I don't know.
Hey, Craig, that's you said they haven't. You made it sound like they haven't any contributions to society at all.
Oh man!
Like millennials haven't made any kind of contribution. That's why I was cracking up.
It's
okay. Well, yeah. It just
so, like, I mean, what have your generation done other than really what's the word? Endorse racism, sexism, and homophobia. Oh, okay. I didn't. Oh no!
Oh shit!
Invented the internet.
I'm kidding.
Hey, we invented the internet.
I know you are. You're good. We're cool. But no, I think it seems like it's generational. I mean, I actually
he's waving his white flag already.
I actually saw somebody leave a tweet that said, "You're going to rule the day. This Spider-Man's not on the most powerful console," and it was
Who said that?
It was a tweet. That's promise you. I don't know how to screenshot stuff. I'm not very computer literate, but it was a screenshot.
I don't know how to screenshot things.
Yeah, someone in the chat, like the spook who sat by the door, said, "I've seen a lot of old ass niggas crying on Twitter over plastic."
The spook. I've seen a lot of young ass that were doing the same thing. I mean, we're on different parts of Twitter. That's fine. The people I see doing the complaining is, but they're mostly younger people just going nuts, going ham. But that doesn't mean old folks ain't doing it too. My point is that nobody should be doing it. But I just want to
I agree with that.
Yeah, who is he seen doing this? I mean, this all just kind of happened, I guess, 3 days ago. And everybody, some of us follow each other, some of us don't. But I wanted to ask all day, do you think this could be generational? Because there's a section of society that feels entitled. Okay, it's not my generation. So the section that feels entitled feels like Spider-Man. And I agree with you all day. Spider-Man's the biggest superhero arguably in the world, sells the most apparel. That's what I'm going off of. So yes, I can understand people wanting it to be on all platforms. But most of the people, like I saw somebody leave a tweet that said, "Oh, it sucks. He said, I have a PC. I'm not gonna be able to play it, but good luck. I hope the game does well."
Oh,
that makes sense.
Wait, real quick, bro. Chaz in the chat said Craig would know how to screenshot if he was a millennial.
Facts. I'm
That's right. I'm not. You know,
Craig's like, what is this link Luca just sent me to Hangouts? What is this Hangout?
Hang out? What do you mean? I'm already at my house.
What's your opinion on that? Oh, random guy, I'm not taking an L. You got a bunch of entitled people complaining. That's what I've seen. Now, now I'm just asking, what has everybody else seen? Some people say,
but Craig, is it entitled people or is it just fanboys? I mean, are they one and the same?
No. Real quick, guys. Real quick. Hold on. So Nate in the chat's like, why are we here acting like anonymous Twitter accounts saying crazy stuff every week is new? Are dudes really surprised about things being exclusive? We're not over this conversation already. Honestly, I think people just like to act up because 1, they're either fucking idiots, 2, they're fucking idiots, or 3, they just like the drama of it. So, all right, go ahead, guys.
Everyone got
Enrique,
quiet all of a sudden.
Yeah, Enrique, you're going to say something.
I'm sorry. I thought Craig was going to say something. So
no, I'm good. I was laughing at the chat. I was kidding.
No, I was.
Wait. Von Lamont said Craig is podcasting off his flip phone. Oh no!
That's savage.
Hey, Craig's the only dude with singular wireless.
You're on one of those. You're on one of those phones that slides out with the
the Nokia.
Yeah,
that's coming back. That phone's coming back.
He's podcasting off the sidekick.
No, I just want to say, like, I posed a question, like, is it a generational thing or is it just fanboys? I don't think we could say it's millennials or Gen X. It's everyone. Because look, there's grown men out there crying over plastic, waving their bleeding green or bleeding purple, whatever it is, out there arguing and cyberbullying and harassing developers.
Hey, we all bleed blue until the air hits our blood, right?
You get my point though, all day.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think it's go ahead, man.
No, it's fine. I'm just making a slight comment. You don't have to bring the whole podcast down to a halt.
No, I just think it's fanboys. That's all it is.
It is, yeah.
That's all it is. Not console wars nonsense.
Yo.
It sucks. What's up, bro?
What's up?
What's going on, man? Like me and Ryan were talking about it on Twitter. We were talking about
dead.
I sound dead.
Yeah.
I'm on my way to work, so of course.
Oh, okay. That makes sense then.
Oh God, here we go.
David, I thought you were like, you know what, Luca, this is the first time on your show and it's full of bullshit. I'm out. I heard what you said about older people. Fuck you. I'm like, oh my gosh. I didn't know it was like that.
No, but I would have said something and then left. I wouldn't have just slunk out of here, do you know? So, no apologies. My internet dropped for a wee minute there, so apologies. But I guess I don't know where you've got to with this. But I guess my Topham's worth. I'm getting a lot of noise from Ryan, so apologies if anybody's not having seen me. Anyway,
okay. Who's podcasting in a wind tunnel?
It's probably
that's Ryan.
Right. So I guess what I was going to say is I don't think it's a generational thing. I think it's an arsehole thing. I think if people are going to be arseholes, they're going to be arseholes. And Twitter just happens to give them a platform. And the thing we need to do is we need to ignore them. We need to block them. We need to mute them. We need to take advantage of the tools that are on the platforms and just not interact with them. You know, and it's like, you know, if a tree falls in an empty wood, does anybody hear it? Well, if someone tweets in an empty room, does anyone care? And that's kind of how I would look at it. Is like, just block people who are going to get involved in that kind of conversation.
Well, I don't mind the fanboyism. It's just the people I typically block, other than the dude from yesterday who I blocked. Listen, I woke up I'm gonna let you guys know this now. If I wake up in a bad mood and you start some shit with me, I'm gonna block you. All right, I'm just gonna block you. All right, just because I'm a bitch. All right, I'm letting y'all know this right the fuck now. But I typically only block people who are like racist or fucking crazy. So.
Yeah, but I mean, if you're going to be abusive about it,
you're blocking people. Looking.
Yeah. So, okay. Oh, Ryan, I keep getting messages from that like dude who's stalking you, and I didn't want to say anything to you about it, but I just blocked him.
He's a clown. He has clown at the end of his name.
Well, no, it's like someone else, but he keeps saying the same thing that the dude with the clown is saying, that you're not black.
Yeah, that's his sock account. He has numerous sock accounts. You can see Ryan the Professional is African American.
Okay, exclusive content here, guys. Ryan the Professional is black, so the person who's stalking Mike,
is clearly a liar.
Clearly a liar. So.
Oh my goodness.
Factually inaccurate, that's for sure.
Yeah. Because I saw the screen go, I'm like, who is this black person randomly on my screen?
Yeah,
that's what he does. This is what he did too. I don't know. You remember DNA Glitch Gaming?
Yeah.
He flagged DNA's channel, and his channel got deleted because the dude had sexual content on his channel.
Mm-hmm.
And he flagged his account with those sock accounts, and he's so proud of that. He's like, "I'm gonna do the same thing to you. I'm gonna destroy your channel like DNA." I'm sitting there like, how are you going to accomplish this?
Bro, Ryan is black. This is great.
Yeah, that's right. Hit that subscribe button. No, that's serious. Because when I get off this call in a few minutes, I should see 1,000 subs on the channel. That's
nice.
Exclusive content.
Exclusive content, guys.
Oh.
Master Lynn, first of all, fuck you, nigga. That's all I want to say in the chat. Also, what's up, bro? You the homie, though. And yes.
What's up, Master? Small man right there, too.
Yeah.
It took him years to, get off the Xbox juice, but that's my homie.
He's a PC guy, though. So.
PC guy.
Hey, what up, Hardhead? How's it going, bro?
What's going on, Luca? Thank you for having me.
Oh yeah, of course. I saw you up in the chat, starting.
What's good, Hardhead? What's going on, bro?
What's up, bro?
Oh, man, I wasn't starting shit now.
So, I heard that you are of the PlayStation persuasion. Is this true, Hardhead, sir?
I wouldn't say that,
sir.
Look. I don't have any reason to buy an Xbox 360, an Xbox One X. I don't need none of it.
Do you have a Switch?
I have a Switch, a PS4 Pro,
I'm gonna do this like this, bro. Are you getting God of War? I'm gonna end this call. You're getting God of War?
Definitely getting God of War.
Okay,
already
according to the Xbox fan base, you are schizophrenic.
Oh no, not like.
But look, this is the thing. I enjoy my
like
Xbox games.
I know. I'm gonna end it like that. Y'all have a good one. I gotta get to work. So.
All right. See you later, bro. Thanks.
See you, Ryan.
Thanks for stopping by.
Peace, Ryan. See you later, man.
Yeah, I did hear that argument that PS4 owners are schizophrenics or something and like to knife people in the rear.
Mm-hmm.
He's been terminated.
He said he was just kidding, but I don't.
Yeah, he was just kidding.
He was just messing around. And
that was All Day's boy. I'm calling it right now.
Go with your boy all day. Go with your boy.
Yeah, I was in that podcast when that happened. I was like, wow. I'm just gonna be quiet.
Wait, you were in that podcast when it happened?
Yeah, when that gentleman said that. Yeah.
What was the first thought that came to mind? Were you like, what did he just say? What?
Well, I mean, the stuff he was naming was like, I said, well, all that stuff, same stuff happens in Grand Theft Auto. A lot of, maybe not all of it, but a lot of the stuff, I mean, you can maim pedestrians, blow up helicopters.
Yeah, that was like one of the few times that I actually was when I was listening back, I was like, fuck, I wish I was there because I would have. Listen, I'm sure he's a very nice fellow. He follows me on Twitter, but like, I don't let people say stupid shit on my shows, man. Like, I try not to, you know.
Damn, I'm missing some crazy ass podcasts.
Yeah, you're missing some good shit. The drama, people have been losing their shit, like really genuinely losing their shit. Like, it's been a consistent, like, people losing it ever since Next Gen has turned pony. I'm putting it out.
People went crazy yesterday when Red Dragon said he sold his Xbox One X. People went nuts.
Oh yeah.
Hey, don't forget Zaire started the wave.
He was definitely baiting with that.
He didn't get rid of. I thought he said he was going PlayStation or something like that.
I mean, yes, he sold it, but he's posted it on Twitter for a reason because he wanted to basically cause drama.
I mean, honestly, I guess maybe if I was a content creator that had his fan base, you know, I would post it too, like, okay, I'm selling this because of this. And someone told me that he did the same thing when he had the PlayStation a few years back, that he posted, I'm selling this because it doesn't have any exclusives. So I don't know anything about the Red Dragon, so
I don't either, yeah.
You know, all I know is that he has a substantial sub base, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So him being transparent with his subscribers, I don't see the problem with that, personally. But there are people who have an issue with him selling it or say he's just doing it for attention. Don't give that man attention then. Like, if that's what you think he's doing it for.
Oh, that'll never happen.
I know that he's selling it, and he obviously does believe that I believe that the lack of exclusives is a problem, but I don't think selling it and then posting it on Twitter when you know that it's going to cause drama and then act like it's just nothing isn't something that you should be doing.
You gotta do it for the views.
Yeah, exactly. It's just causing drama where they shouldn't need to be.
I see. I get what you're saying.
Yeah, but is it really him? Like, okay, so I understand like posting, and he probably knows the reaction he's going to get. But I guess my thing is, like, why even react to that? Like, he's exercising his rights as a consumer. Who cares? Like,
Enrique, go ahead.
You can go all day. You can go.
No, I was just saying, it's like when I post that I'm eating chicken, I wonder if I'm gonna get attacked.
Yeah, like all day, all day. If you go to McDonald's all day,
do you know those rampant vegetarians are going to track you down, aren't they? Do you know? They're going to come at you, and it's like, man, why are you not vegan?
Right? Like all day, you go to McDonald's and you say, you know what? I'm tired of this cheeseburger. This shit sucks. I'm gonna throw it away. You post it on Twitter. You know, I mean,
no one's gonna care.
Yeah,
probably get one like.
You know, you might get a lot of likes. Like, yeah, it's about time you threw that away. That shit's nasty. You know?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, if anybody's unhappy with whatever they purchased and you can still take it back, man, take it back. I don't know
whatever happened to being, you know, supportive on what somebody doesn't like. You want someone to be happy. You don't want anybody to be upset, right? So
yeah, you know, support. Well, I think we have to be pro-choice here, if that's not an unfortunate turn of words or going to get people off on.
What do you mean by pro-choice?
Uh-oh.
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, it's like, do you know what? Play the games you want to play on the platform you want to play them on. I'm not going to get upset if suddenly you say, do you know what? I don't want an Xbox, because I don't like the games that are just on the Xbox and I'll play it on the PlayStation. Good for you.
Some people feel personally attacked when you say shit like that. I'll never understand.
Well, do you know, I guess all I'm going to say is up until now, I haven't seen games that would make me think, you know what, a PlayStation would be a really great idea. And now with Detroit and Spider-Man, I'm thinking, you know what, that I could just about make the argument for that. But for me, that's for me. That's what works for me. But, you know, if somebody wants to kind of turn around and say, do you know what, that's not for me, totally fine. This point in the generation, no one's going to, it makes little or no difference. There are tens of millions of consoles in the world. It doesn't matter. NPD, frankly, it's an accounting game at this point rather than anything that fanboys should be getting annoyed or upset about. I honestly don't care what the NPD numbers are or are going to be. As we nudge towards whatever next generation, however that's going to be described as, then fine, that then becomes relevant. Right now, all I want is great games. And I want lots of ways that people can access those games. So things like Game Pass, fantastic. You want to get a console for the first time, and $10 a month, and there you go. There's 120 games to go and play. How is that not fantastic? How is that not pro-choice? So why would anybody be upset about that?
That's understandable. What's up,
Because he
Kratos?
values games.
Yo.
Because the Microsoft store is
Let
broken.
me say one thing.
Go ahead, bro.
Let me say one thing. This is 5 years into the console cycle. And for a lot of guys, if you haven't found a reason to buy a PlayStation or an Xbox in 5 years, out of all of these games that have released, even if it's the beginning of the generation, when there was games like Infamous and Ratchet and Clank and other games that's out there, right? It may not be your bag of tea, but there is got to be something for everybody. If you're into Japanese RPG games, then there's only one platform that you had at that particular time. You could only get those type of games on the PlayStation. So I think a lot of people have just really did themselves a disservice by not getting a PlayStation and not getting an Xbox. Because, if you were into that Halo franchise last generation or the generation before, or Gears or some of the other games that they offer, at this point in time, 5 years in, I just cannot see how a person could not, as a gamer, could not own both consoles at least one point in time.
What if that person has a PC?
And you should know the ecosystem and what the company is planning to do before you drop whatever you pay.
Yeah.
Whether you pay,
and even if you have
whatever. I should know. With my Xbox
right?
X, I knew they didn't have a whole lot of studios. So why would I complain because there's not a whole lot of games for it that are exclusive when they don't have that people have been upset about? That's me as a consumer. I need to know that. And that's I know, so that's just a fact. That's not me bashing. When you buy an Xbox, you should know the studios. They don't have a whole lot. And they may announce they got 30 studios at E3 for all I know. But you should know.
In 2018, most serious gamers have PCs by now. So
yes, that's true. That's true.
What reason do I have to buy that $500 box?
Well, and that's part of the problem that we have.
Hey, Kratos, you're botting out.
You're breaking up, Jay.
Next, right? Is most people have saw fit, and if you're going to spend $500 for the third time, can you guys hear me now?
Yeah, you sound
right. You're botting though.
Oh shit!
We may have lost him.
Oh.
You there, Jay?
His icon's not there anymore.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, hey, what's up, everybody?
What's up, Slow-Mo?
Hey, how's it going, Enrique? Now, I can answer his question. The reason why I own the Xbox One X and also a PlayStation 4, and I don't have a gaming PC, and I'm an IT guy. I'm a network engineer. Like, I could build my own PC in my sleep. I don't want to. I mean, I work with that stuff all day long. Sometimes when I go home, I just want stuff to work right out the box and not really care about, do I gotta upgrade this? Oh, now I need a new whatever. I don't feel like dealing with all that. Just have it work out the box and have it have the best visuals on console. I'm cool with that. Certain people, I mean, that's not everybody, and I don't begrudge anyone for having a gaming PC. You do you. I don't begrudge anyone for just excluding everything Xbox. Hey, that's all on you. I think it's funny, and this is how every single Twitter outrage every single week goes. We have Spider-Man announcement. I knew this was going to happen before it was going to happen. Fanboys on both sides flipping out. We got the Xbox guys asking. I don't know if they think, like, if they keep asking Insomniac that eventually they'll say yes. I don't know what the point is. They've said never. Never means forever. It's never happening. So just let it go, or buy a PlayStation 4 and enjoy the game. Either or. And then you got the other side that's cheerleading the hell out of it. And basically what this is we have one side that gets triggered off of the smallest things, and the other side that instigates and it uses hyperbole and basically boost up every little thing that happens for their side. Both sides are engaging in extreme amounts of fanboyism. Neither side can look at the other side and say, ooh, look at you, you're terrible. No, you're both terrible. You both are way too old for this shit. Grow up. That's what I'm saying. So.
Yeah, I got you, bro. Real quick. Thank you so much for joining, David. You can go. Because he said he has dinner right now.
Yeah, dinner's being served, guys. So I
yeah, no, you're fine.
I know when I need to go. So listen, thank you very much, and hope to join again sometime. Thank you.
Of course, you're welcome anytime. Bye, bro.
All right, see you, David.
Take care, dude.
I only joined just so I can see the the bottom part of the screen fill up with people.
Get the fuck out! Get out! Get out! Like get out! God damn! Like I fucking send this link in my Discord, and fucking Don Julio's like, I'm way too groggy and sleepy, Luca.
I took a power nap.
I can't make it, Luca. I just can't do it, Luca.
I got home at 5 a.m. It's like I'm like 3 hours behind you guys. That's why.
Okay.
But I took my power nap. But
yeah, I agree with what that gentleman was just saying. That it's one side seems to get. I just see on my Twitter feed, and I'm not on. I don't have everybody's Twitter page. The people I see doing the most complaining is out of the Xbox community. At least they say they're Xbox.
Maybe you don't see anyone because you're a fucking pony, Craig. You ever consider
And again, and what I said, I agree with what the guy said. But that guy turned his whatever in because he was unhappy. And this is for the people complaining. If you don't like what you got, get rid of it. But stop complaining. There's no reason to complain. You have a choice to get rid of it, sell it, give it away. I'm sure there's some kid that would love to have one. Just give it to him. I mean, I just don't understand the complaining. But I agree. You get one side feeling like I said, to me, it looks like people actually thought that because the X is here, that they were going to all these studios are going to start making all these games, even first party for whoever, Nintendo or Sony. And that's what it seems like. I mean, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I mean, it's no big deal. But that's just what it seems like what I'm seeing. It's just because it's the same thing. Sony shows a game. Somebody says, oh, it's been downgraded. Then it's, oh, well, it's not doing this. Oh, it doesn't have a release date. How can they have a release date if they not announce when it's coming? Or, it's been delayed.
It's The Last of Us.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's stuff being delayed without release dates. It's just like they're just bitching. And it's just like, if you don't like what you have, go do something else. To me, it's simple. But I'm old. So I'm get off my lawn, guy. So,
That's fine. But you can't say, oh, I'm dissatisfied with the lack of exclusives when we're months away from E3 and Microsoft has said multiple times that we understand that our exclusive state's a bit shit at the moment.
Tyler, are you saying E3? Wait till E3?
Oh, it might be. It's only 60 days away.
I want to comment on that when he's done, by the way. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, do it now, man.
No, I just, I've gotten tired of that, wait till E3. I've lived that now for the last 3 years. I'm at a point now where it's like, you know what? I'm more looking towards third-party stuff being enhanced on the X, and that's all I really care about right now. I'm not holding my breath for them to, because it's like the same thing every year. Oh, we know we have a problem, or we know, we listen to our gamers, and then every year it's like we get like a new controller, or we get some, we get Phantom Dust, but we get Phantom Dust, the OG Xbox version with original assets, and then.
That's fine.
And I'm like, okay, that's fine. Like, for me, it's more like with anything Xbox related now, because I have an X, it's like, I'm just looking forward. I'm looking more towards the third party stuff. I'm looking forward them making more announcements of enhanced content coming to the platform, and that's pretty much it. I just and not look, and I'm not saying this to bash Microsoft. I have my own personal frustrations that I've made clear on my own podcast about where they are right now in the console generation, and I think a lot of the issues, and I don't want to derail this conversation, but maybe this is for another podcast, but I think a lot of the issues they have now started way before this generation started, probably around the midpoint of the 360. But
yeah, hold on. All right, I have moderators in here. If that block that guy who's talking about Ryan. All right.
So yeah, I can't do the
don't time him out. Block him. Okay.
I can't do that. Wait till E3 anymore. I've lost hope.
Well, see, that's fine. Use your X for third-party games, because I just think that's what it's designed for.
I thought it was like to be a living room media console, not particularly a gaming console. I thought that was the original push.
That was the original.
That was the original push back in 2013. That was the original push back in 2013.
That was a different head of Xbox.
Yeah.
But if that's what you want to do with yours, yeah, that's fine. To me, I don't give a shit about exclusives. I'll play the games that I want. Like I don't go out and go, oh, I really.
Why do you have a Switch then?
Well, something about that portability. I like to play my games.
Okay.
I like to play my games, not in this shitty little office that I have. I want to play a game outside.
Judge Luca.
Like most of the people that are on Twitter most of the time. I can do that.
What games do you play on your Switch?
Let me find it.
Mario Kart 4000 and
what have I been playing? Right.
Probably one of the only people that owns NBA 2K18 on the Switch, and I really fucking enjoy it on the Switch.
Oh, that's good.
I'm currently playing Stardew Valley on the Switch.
Stardew Valley, okay.
Yeah, that's a perfect game for the Switch. Multi-platform.
It's multi-platform?
Yep.
Yeah, it's multi-platform.
Okay. What else do you play?
I'm also the Street Fighter 2 on here as well. I haven't played it recently because I'm having problems with my Joy-Con, but that is my fault because I may have dropped it, going outside.
Okay, yeah, I'm just asking because I have no interest in that console. So, all right, go ahead.
That's fine. That's fine. As much as some other people won't have an interest in the Xbox, that's fine. People play the games that they want.
In regards to selling a console that you're not using, more power to you. It's your console. You bought it. It's your product. It's your piece of plastic. You do whatever you want with it. You can blow it up, launch it into space, pee on it like some people have.
Oh no, not like this.
Look, all I'm saying is that, like, for me, my PlayStation 4 collected dust and didn't get turned on for a full year. I didn't sell my PS4, and now I play it almost daily. I feel like if I purchase something, just because I'm not playing it right now, it doesn't have the games I want to play on it right now, doesn't mean I'm not playing games. And that year period, I was playing The Division almost faithfully on my Xbox. I was going to get back to my PlayStation eventually. This is the reason why I got this backlog of games to play. Like, there are games out there to play. I'm gonna get the Bloodborne.
I'm just making sure.
I will get to it.
By the way, shout out to Kid Smooth for completing Bloodborne.
Yeah.
I think all of us are shocked, but very proud that he was able to beat it.
Shocked.
I had no.
You can't tell me that people. Okay, come on. The majority of people were like, yeah. I'm just saying the majority of people did not think he would be able to beat that game. I didn't think he'd get past Rom, and he did. So good on him. Like, congrats to Kid Smooth.
I mean, if he can do it, I probably can, and that's something that is. I'm terrible at Dark Souls.
Hey, at this point, if you can't beat Bloodborne, then you are officially one of the worst gamers in this community.
Hey, yo, I told all day that if Kid Smooth beats Bloodborne before him, I'm gonna stop talking to him. So all day, sir.
All day. Where are you? Where are you in Bloodborne?
I haven't even.
She says that, but I just barely started playing it.
Ozzy, where are you right now? Where are you in Bloodborne?
I just beat Father G, 2 attempts. That was it. So just heading after that. Whatever's after that. Bloodstar Beast, I think, is next, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm. That's what I'm
Bloodstar
battling.
Beast or Vicar Amelia.
That's what I'm battling right now. Bloodstar Beast.
How's that going?
Yeah, I agree. Shout out to Kid Smooth, and he had fun from the stream.
Yes.
He was having a good time, and that's what it's all about. I think that gets forgotten sometimes. He looked like he was having a good time. So shout out to him. Glad he had a good time. So
I'm not gonna lie, I haven't seen Kid Smooth smile at the Xbox game like that in a long time.
I mean, not like this.
He's at PAX right now. Seems like he's having a good time. So hopefully, shout out to everybody that went out there. Hopefully, everybody has a safe trip back. And that way you can tell everybody how it was. So a lot of people are saying they're having a good time playing State of Decay. A couple other people, I don't know. So shout out to all those people that went out there, and hopefully you're having fun. And again, Kid Smooth looked like he was having a great time, and that's what I enjoyed. This him, and because that's cool. That's what it's all about.
Did he kind of? It got me like watching him play that game, and his reaction actually got me excited to play the game.
Yeah, it was a good time. He was having fun. People enjoyed. The chat was really cheering him on. It was cool. So I think that gets forgotten sometimes because that's why we're playing, and just to have fun, to have that one, have that moment, our one shining moment. It's kind of steal that from March Madness. It's the sense of accomplishment. That's why I play, and it was good to see somebody else having a good time and not bitching about it. Just having fun.
Yeah, how do I say? I like watching people enjoy games. Honestly, I kind of forgot what that's like to talking about games, talking about games that you actually enjoy and having a good time talking about them. And I got that feeling again when I was on Enrique's podcast. We were just talking about Persona 5 and other games. And I was like, wow, I feel so happy talking about video games. Because normally when I'm on podcasts, we're just talking about bullshit. So it's like, I was like, oh, I got to get Enrique on my show more. I've been trying to kidnap him from Graph. It's not working, it seems, so...
I was talking to Luca on the phone when I was beating the cleric beast. Oh man, you should have heard this. She was like, I was like, I'm almost gonna beat him. She's like, oh Dave, you know why he's weak? Because he's hurt. I was like, what? He's like, you can do it all day. Come on, kill him. It was fun. It was fun.
Yeah. Gaming is supposed to be fun, guys. You're not supposed to be focusing on the
exactly. That's why it kills me when I see these people go ape shit over stuff because it's so trivial in the grand scheme of things. This isn't what gaming's about. Like Persona 5. We did the Persona 5 podcast. We talked about Persona 5, and then when you and Slow-Mo on Scumcast were talking about Dragon Age. I mean, that's what it's about.
Yeah.
Let me ask you guys a question. Do you guys find gaming articles fun to talk about?
Not really.
No, not really.
Okay. I wonder why they get talked about 90% of the time on all these podcasts. I mean, some when I listen to a lot of podcasts that I enjoy, it's usually maybe 2 or 3 articles, but it's not a lot. Sometimes you have a whole checklist, bro. It's 90 topics about everything under the sun. And it's bro, I'm not having a good time.
Well, I enjoy talking about articles that are completely stupid. Specifically, Polygon's article about Far Cry 5. That is something that I had a massive laugh at. I don't know if any of you guys read that.
What did it say?
Depends on which one.
Basically, Polygon were upset because
fucking Polygon, man.
Yeah.
Hey, get some gamers who get some fucking writers who know how to fucking play games, Polygon, before you speak. I'm just saying. Okay, go ahead.
Isn't that all the big media outlets?
Yo, that's a fact. But,
even you can't get good gamers.
These media outlets, the bigger ones, the IGNs, the Polygons, GameSpot, whatever you want to call it, they're really, I don't really see them any differently than you would think about the political news in our country, in the U.S. I know there's some of us here aren't in the U.S., but they have their sides. And there's that guy that's out who works for Forbes, who has the most clickbaity titles to his. I don't read any of this stuff. and it can be negative or positive for whoever. I'm like, if you don't have any good content, then I'm just not going to even bother, clicking the link and reading. The only thing I think I've read recently from the mainstream video game sources was IGN's coverage, State of Decay 2, which was a good 2 hours of actual gameplay. I really enjoyed that because I'm a big State of Decay fan. I can't wait to play it. But otherwise, I'm like Polygon and their agenda pushing stuff. I don't care. I would rather get my news from other sources that aren't exactly. Yeah.
It's better. It's better to go for independent sources, people you trust, people's opinions that you you kind of can relate with, because you forget that these big media gaming websites, they used to rule the industry. We all used to subscribe to Game Informers and IGN websites and game trailers and all that.
One up.
Yeah. Now, but now they're losing a significant part of that the field, to YouTubers and stuff like that. So they push agendas and they push console wars. They ignite that stuff because they know that's what gets people in. Yep.
Clicks. Talk trash about Xbox. You're gonna get more clicks than saying, hey, this Xbox game might actually be pretty good. If you get more clicks by saying Xbox is the next No Man's Sky, kind of is, but regardless, you get more clicks by putting that in there than saying something positive. Although someone did say something in the chat about Kotaku. I don't know about the site in general, but I do like that dude, Jason Schreier. He does really good work. And he's always on point. He has great sources, will give you a huge in-depth article about a game. I remember when he did his whole expose thing on Destiny and why Destiny 1 was the way it was. And man, just the dude does not put rumors in his work. It's like, I got multiple sources from here that says that this is what's going on. And I've got quotes from certain people who are in the know or work for this company. And just like, man, it's like real journalism. Like,
you're like, what is this?
Who does that around here?
Yeah.
What is this magic?
Didn't he do the? I may be wrong. Didn't he do the Mass Effect Andromeda one too about some of the issues?
Yep, he did that one too.
Yeah, that was real in depth. If people want to know what happened with that game, I believe if it's still up, that's a legit article. It was really good.
Very good. Yeah. And so everything that he does, I'm down with. Like, I even bought his. He wrote a book. I haven't read it yet because again, I got backlogs of stuff to read and play and whatever. But yeah, he wrote a book about the gaming industry too. So someone like that, I'm like, I respect your hustle. I support you. The rest of Kotaku, I don't know the rest of them. I don't know what they do.
Yeah. Oh, I would like to say real quick. I'm just reminding you guys that Luca of Lucaville, USA. Luca, love drama, and I like talking about bullshit. So I'm just letting people know because I know inevitably I've gotten a few comments like, Luca, you're always bitching about this shit. Like, we know it's just gonna happen, Luca. I'm like, okay. It's fun to bitch about. I'm sorry. I enjoy talking about people being idiots. It's fun for me. So I'm just I'm just putting that out there. But Soma, what do you think about
Hey, Luca, real quick, can I interrupt?
What you want? What do you want?
Well, I want to piggyback on something about media and stuff like that and clickbait.
Like, you're always interrupting me when I'm okay, go ahead.
So the idea clickbait isn't anything new. You take it back to the days, and I've been doing this a long time, 35 years gaming now. And if you go back to Electronic Gaming Monthly, GamePro, I'll never forget there was a magazine front page article or the front page of EGM when the PlayStation came out. Can Sony survive? Who's going to win the next console war? So the idea of clickbait or these sexy titles to attract readers' attention is nothing new in gaming journalism or any other form of journalism. This goes back to print media. And I think there's a little bit of misconception. I feel like a lot of people think, oh my God, well, media bias or, clickbaits, it's new this console generation. It isn't. I mean, you can go back to as recent as last console generation where I remember Sony fanboys, Digital Foundry's biased against the PlayStation 3. It was the media bias against Sony's PlayStation 3, and the Xbox 360 was getting all the positive, coverage. And what happens is anytime whoever the market leader is at the time for a game in the gaming industry, whoever the market leader is going to get the most coverage, and that's because there's more readers, more viewership out there because there's a larger install base. And the media groups, they know that. They know that, like last gen, we have more 360 owners in the US. And so therefore we're going to put out more articles that talk about the 360 because there's more interest geared towards that console. This generation just so happens to flip where it's the PlayStation 4. And if the Xbox is the market leader, I can promise you if the Xbox is the market leader next console gen, you'll see the same kind of like flipping. And like I've had Ryan McCaffrey on my podcast. I've talked to other gaming journalists. I've talked to Jason Shriver, Susan Arndt, and I've even asked them like straight up, like, is there really like media bias? Or, like, you guys really like want Xbox to fail or champion? And they all laugh. They're like, no, we don't. We're all gamers. Do we have preferences? Absolutely, everyone has preferences. But do we want to see one console fail? No, because they understand that will be detrimental to the overall gaming industry.
Very true.
And they don't want that. And I just wanted to share that because I do feel like there's a misconception out there that that like clickbait, that stuff's new. It's not. It's been going on forever. Jay Fonzarelli, big shout out to Jay Fonz. He tweeted out something a couple months ago where he pulled like gaming articles and headlines from last gen. If you go back and you look at it, you would think, oh my God, like the gaming industry hated PlayStation. So
Sony. Yeah, not to interrupt you. Sony put a product out for what was it, $600?
Yeah,
$600 with no games.
I'm talking about that.
And they got crucified for it.
Microsoft put out a console for $500. Sony put one out for $399. Guess which one sold more? It's not rocket science.
Exactly.
So and then people are going to buy. But I do agree with the articles. Whoever is in the driver's seat gets the most favorable coverage because they're people you figure are going to be looking for more information on that, whatever, console, movie, car, whatever. I agree. I agree 100%.
Luca?
I'm trying to figure out who is like entering their car, like, and what's going on? Like, it sounds like someone's like exiting their car and like getting in the garage or something. I don't.
Oh, I don't know.
Did you hear a car door or something?
Yeah.
You heard a car door.
Okay, well maybe I'm hearing things. Whatever. Anyway,
I don't think it can.
What's up?
I don't think it can be me.
I don't know.
Maybe it's all day. He was at like McDonald's or something, wasn't he?
His mic's muted.
His mic's muted though, because he knows better at this. He knows better to come out here with that fucking background noise because he knows how I feel about it. So
steer the boat, mate.
I got a plane flying over me, but I'm muted now. So.
Okay, Don Julio. By the way, slow-mo, Don Julio.
Oh, is that Don Julio? Nimbus?
Yeah. That is me.
Oh, what's up, Don Julio?
Hey, what's up, man?
Do you guys want to play Fortnite later?
10 years
later.
Oh,
God. It depends what...
We're going to play with Blue. Are you guys...
Are you asking me, Luca?
Yeah, I'm asking you guys.
Yeah, I play. What time?
It depends on after I eat, but yeah. Anyway, so...
Food comes first.
Sure.
Yeah, so, okay. Slow-mo, did you give your thoughts about Spider-Man yet?
No, I didn't really say much, but
so I want to hear your thoughts on the game. If you're picking it up, what do you think about people freaking out in the community? I want to hear your thoughts as well.
Well, okay,
and you too, Hardhead. I didn't hear your thoughts either. So
so I'm getting Spider-Man. It's a day one buy for me. I'm a big comic book fan. So anytime there's a good Spider-Man, I'm gonna pick it up. I like Insomniac.
How do you know it's gonna be good?
Because Insomniac making it. That's why it's gonna be good. Like this isn't even a question. It's being made by Insomniac. Like people, I got so much crap for liking Sunset Overdrive with my friends. They were just like, "This game's weird," whatever. I'm like, "Look, it reminds me of
was it?
Jet Set Radio. It reminded me of that kind of game." And I'm like, "I love this game. Insomniac's awesome. This game is going to be good. So the game's going to be great. I'm buying it. I do have some concerns." As usual, one, I see a lot of elements of like the Arkham game style, but I really kind of felt like the Arkham games were like that. One, the game design was like that because Batman is just a man in a suit. He's got a lot of gadgets, but he can be killed by gunfire. You know, he can't really evade bullets like that. So yeah, the stealth elements that are in Arkham, I saw some of that in the gameplay footage I saw, and I was just like, I'm not saying that's how the gameplay is. It just kind of worried me because I saw Spider-Man like on a beam looking down on some enemies, and then he jumped down and fought them. And I'm just like, I hope that was just kind of like a choice that the person playing the game did at the time, and not like how I'm supposed to always engage in each set of combat, because that's not Spider-Man. Spider-Man jumps in, he's got superpowers, he slaps people around, he's a different style of combat, is very acrobatic, and I did see that, and I love that part of it. The QTE stuff, I don't care. I play Quantic Dreams games all the time. Don't give a crap about QTE. I'm gonna enjoy the game. The outrage, again, like I said earlier, it's you got the PlayStation fanboys that's hyping it up. Oh, it's the greatest game ever. Like 50% of them not even gonna buy it, but it's the greatest game ever. And then you got the other half who just, the other half of it, the Xbox guys, raging. You got one dude saying, I'm not gonna say the other half. It's two people, but it seemed like one guy's raging, talking about if you've never played all the Spider-Man games going back to PlayStation 1 and Super Nintendo, then you can't play the game. Then you can't play this game.
Oh my god!
Shut up! That's nonsense.
Then you're not a real Spider-Man fan.
Yeah, you're not a real Spider-Man fan. You can't play this game. Like what are you high on?
You found those fucking games inside of a bargain bin doesn't mean anything.
Exactly.
It's pretty bad.
Is it okay?
At the end of the day.
Is it okay that I buy this game, buy the new Spider-Man game, if I find a 50-cent piece of crap Spider-Man game from Super Nintendo? I mean, that logic is ridiculous. So this happens all the time. Next week is going to be something else. It's going to be some other game where it's going to be like, oh my God, we have all these games.
I can tell you
nothing. And then people are like, I hate this. I hate you guys. Screw you guys. All you guys are pedophiles. It's just going to be all this back and forth next week. But it's going to be about different games.
Classics
it's going to happen.
moving.
Well, the 12th is when it happens because that's when the God of War.
I'm so excited! Oh my God, I'm so excited for these scores. Not just because I can't wait to see people freak out, but I do want to see what the media is thinking of the game.
Well, it's gonna get 10 out of 10s. We all know that, right?
I've heard.
I don't think so. I think it's going to be like 93s, like somewhere in the 90 to 95s. I think it'll be.
Well, it's going to be showered with praise because it's the type of story that's the video game equivalent of Oscar bait. But don't get me wrong.
Wait a second. Are you saying that God of War is overrated?
That's what it sounded like to me.
If you let me finish my sentence. Here we go. Here we go. I'm just gonna quit the internet now because I've insulted somebody's game.
Kidding.
No.
I mean, if we're being
I'm not talking about you. I'm not
until The Last of Us 2.
That's not directed at you. That's directed at the Sony fanboys that are gonna keep flagging my account now. So
Godspeed, Tyler.
A game.
Godspeed.
You didn't like a game that I like.
Are you getting God of War?
When I get my PlayStation, I might get the limited edition one just because it comes with the bundle. Mm-hmm. It's just But I don't have a PlayStation at the moment. It's ugly as hell, but I'd put a skin on it. But
yeah,
exactly what I'm gonna do.
It's ugly as hell, but I am interested in it just to see what they're doing, because obviously this is Kratos. He's not a Norse god, so what's he doing here? Oof.
Yeah. Okay.
But I just know that Santa Monica can make a good game, so
yes.
like.
Okay, I'm sorry, Craig. I interrupted you. If you would like to finish your thought.
Oh no, I was just saying. Literally, the next he was just talking about how people are going to be going back and forth. Yeah, the 12th is when that's going to probably happen, when those scores come out, and you're going to have a group happy and a group not happy. It's just, it's.
Yeah.
I hope I'm wrong. I want to be wrong, and if I'm wrong, I'll do a podcast. Hey, look, I thought people would be going ham. They're not. I stand corrected, but I just got a feeling that I won't be wrong. So
you won't be wrong at all, and that's like the safest bet in the world. That's like saying the New England Patriots are going back to the Super Bowl next year. It's just safest bet in the world. I mean, another safe bet is the week of in May when State of Decay 2 and Detroit Become Human come out. Both games that I'm both buying and both going to play the hell out of. When that week happens, we're going to see all kinds of Twitter graphical comparisons of.
It's funny because when that happens, me and my Souls crew, Dark Souls Remastered, we're going to be playing Dark Souls. So
yeah.
What?
Y'all heard about that new Souls game that's at PAX, right?
What, Code Vein, or is there something else?
No.
There's a new Souls game?
Let me see. Give me a second.
It's called Ashen. It's the Xbox one, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It's Souls-like? That's a Souls-like game?
Souls-like, yeah.
What's it called?
Ashen.
Oh,
Ashen.
no. I think it's called Sinner.
Sinner?
Sinner?
Yeah.
What game is it, guys? Like, what are we doing here?
I thought there's a Souls-like called Ashen on Xbox, but I don't know if that's the one you're on about.
I don't know what Ashen is.
Oh no,
Ashen's
a different one. No, that's not it, is it?
Yeah,
this game is Sinner. It's called Sinner. It's called
Sinner.
Is it?
Okay, I'll give that.
Sinner's Sacrifice for Redemption is the full name of the game.
Okay.
Is this a multiplayer or is it just Xbox PC?
Only thing I do know is that it's on Steam. I don't know if it's a multiplayer.
Okay.
Well, I do know that there was a Souls-like game announced at E3 last year, and it was a Souls-like game. I think that's Ashen. I don't know, but that's like, I think it is. I don't know. I'll have a look.
I think Sinner's multiplayer. I read that.
Hey guys, can I read you all a tweet I just got?
Sure, go ahead.
It's about the whole thing, but Spider-Man thing. Says Craig Harris. As I believe, I said I don't fully understand how IPs work. I'd assume they would give the company the IP to make it, since I don't believe Sony owns the company on Spider-Man PS4. That is I mean, if I can screenshot this, I show it to you. So this is what I was talking about earlier.
Craig, what kind of phone do you have?
A flip phone.
I just got a
the Razor.
The Razor.
Homie on the iPhone 4 over there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm reading
the original iPhone.
Wait, what kind of phone do you have?
I just got a new one yesterday. It's some kind of
Razor.
HD something. Okay. It's a phone. I can listen to iHeart, and that's all I'm after.
He knows how to use one app.
It has been
the phone rings, I answer it. So,
man.
But I'm just telling you, that's what we're dealing with. I mean, this is a real message from a real human being.
Wow.
And this guy doesn't believe Sony owns the company behind Spider-Man. And Sony owns intellectual IP. So they own Spider-Man. I mean, like I said, and this is a young guy.
Clearly.
All right, but to be 100% accurate, Sony owns the license to Spider-Man, and when it comes in terms to like TV, movie, and video game media, Marvel and Disney still own Spider-Man as a comic. But Marvel gave up those rights back in like the 90s, I think, when they were like almost about to go bankrupt. And so that's when they gave Fox they gave Fox the X-Men and Fantastic Four, and they gave Sony Spider-Man. They gave them their most popular comics at that time, so that they could be able to avoid bankruptcy and continue doing business. And so this is why Sony can just say, yeah, Spider-Man's not coming on anything else but PlayStation 4, because they have that intellectual property. They own that intellectual right to do that. Even Marvel couldn't tell them, hey, put it on Xbox. They can't, because they don't own that intellectual right.
You're correct. And that my point was that here's some cat bitching. Even though the fact is exactly what
she's calling him a cat.
Yeah, a cat.
Is this some sort of like terminology from back in the day?
Yeah, it's from the 90s, Luca.
Terminology, but that's my point. I mean, this is kind of this is my point here. This is what I was saying earlier. You got a group of people who just don't. I mean, I'm literally could send this cat the Google article that says, "Here's when Sony bought Spider-Man, 1998. Here's here's the showrunner, Ike Perlmutter. Here's how much they bought it for, $7 million. Sony controls all rights except, like you said, comic book rights. So that's it. So when it comes to the intellectual property, if Sony's, that's what I was told people. Insomniac Games does not own this. Sony went to them. They developed the game. They got a contract, like that gentleman was saying earlier. It was a contract. They got it. They produced, hopefully, what seems to be a good game. But he doesn't believe that Sony owns the Spider-Man company.
Hey guys, real quick.
It's called Google. I tell you, people just don't know, man. It's crazy.
Or if he's a Microsoft guy, he can use Bing, because isn't that the official Microsoft service?
Hey guys, real quick. I don't mean to interrupt, but I do need to go.
Okay.
So yeah, Luca, it has been a pleasure, gentlemen. This has
always
been fun.
Man.
Later.
Yeah, it's always great chatting with you guys, talking about video games. So Luca, thank you again. I definitely appreciate it.
Oh, you're welcome, bro. Catch you later.
Yeah, I'll see you guys later.
Peace.
Take care, man.
Peace.
Have a good one.
And wait, real quick, Craig, get a new phone, man. Time to upgrade.
That phone I got is an upgrade. I got it yesterday.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Oh man.
All right, I'll catch you guys later.
What did you have before that warranted an upgrade?
Yeah, I got an upgrade. It's a nice phone.
You still had a chirp phone or some shit.
Really?
It's a smartphone. That's all she told me. She said, "Oh yeah, that's a big smartphone." I said,
"Oh, it's a smartphone." Smartphone.
I mean, any phone that can call somebody is a smartphone.
Well, they had a flip phone. They had a flip phone still in there, old school. So
that's probably better than what you've got.
I don't mean to get on you, but this whole thing reminded me of my mom, who, like, she called me one day and was like, "Guess what? I got a smartphone now." And I'm like, "What, really?" And she's like, "Well, yeah, because AT&T called me and said I had to upgrade a phone because they just didn't support my phone anymore. They didn't think my phone would actually work with their network anymore." I'm like,
So are you comparing Craig to your elderly mother?
No, I'm not. It just reminded me of that. And Craig, I am not comparing you to my elderly mother. I wouldn't do that to you. I'm just saying it's funny.
I'll show it to you. I have a camera. I can show it to everybody. This is that's it. That's my updated smartphone.
Oh, it looks modern enough.
I don't even know what that is. What is
it
called?
The bezels are pretty big.
It's a ZTE. That's what it says.
Okay.
I think it's a Sony if it has a Z in it, right? But
it could be.
So it's a ZTE?
It's got Google Chrome. I got a bunch of apps on here that were preloaded. So
it's an Android one.
Yeah, who wants an iPhone?
Want quality.
iPhones are very simplistic. They,
Yeah, well, maybe I ought to get that then. If it's simple.
Yeah.
Mine sucks, Luke.
Oh, hey, it even has a button where I can just take a straight selfie. I don't have to use all the
selfie button.
Oh, it has a selfie button.
Yeah, it has a selfie button. I didn't know that, guy.
Your phone has a basic modern feature.
Yeah, by golly. When I grew up, there were no cell phones. You had to stop on the side of the road. You had pagers, if somebody pays you, you use a what you call it phone.
Back in my day, we used Morse code to communicate.
Well, that still works today, I believe. The Navy still uses it.
Yeah, I think we all should know Morse code.
I mean,
oh man, 4K VCR. That's
today.
Damn, I'm starting to feel like a baby up in here.
I have a quick question about regarding.
Wait, hold on. The random guy said Luca's laughing at Craig's lingo, but it probably says hella all the time. I'm pretty sure hella is like a California thing. And I say hella like when I'm talking about Life is Strange. Yeah.
Yeah, you see, I knew that one from a mile away.
It's a North Cal thing. That's what they say up there, with fighting the waves.
Yeah, so I know because I know All Day uses it, and All Day's like 33 or something. So, Hardhead, what do you think about the reaction to Spider-Man?
Well, the reaction to Spider-Man? I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I don't follow half of the people y'all see, so I've been sitting here listening to the shit y'all say y'all been seeing on Twitter, and it just sounds fucking astounding. I kind of wish I saw it at this point. Cause I mean, I don't see what the big issue is. If you really want to play the game, just go buy a fucking PlayStation.
Yeah, I'm gonna go on game here. That's where I work. PlayStation pre-owned PS4 consoles, 180 quid. If you really want to play Spider-Man, go out and buy a PlayStation.
Yeah, same thing with Xbox. Like let's say you were really hyped about Sea of Thieves, but you don't own an Xbox. They cost $180. Go get one. Play the fucking game.
People go, well, I don't have $500 to spend on a console because they're the premium ones. You pay for what you get.
Yeah, that's true. You don't really hear about the base models anymore, though. That's probably why they view it that way. No one really talks about the base PS4, the base Xbox anymore. It's all PS4 Pro, Xbox X.
Because I doubt. Do you see Apple marketing the iPhone 8 nowadays?
Oh, no, not at all.
They're going to market that it's their flagship. That's what they want people to buy. So they're going to advertise it. So if it's just, it's the weird thing, because out of the 70 million people that have bought a PlayStation, how many of those people do you think are buying it because they've had PlayStations before?
Yeah, well, that's a good point. And again, when God of War comes out, once the numbers hit, the next attack will be, there's 70 plus million PlayStation owners, and they only sold that many God of Wars. I mean, it's. I hope I'm wrong, but I got a feeling I won't be.
But the thing is, this isn't to do with. It's like most people that have bought a PlayStation now have only just people upgrade from their last gen when Call of Duty doesn't come out for it.
Yeah.
Like, out of the percent that we are that go out and play, out of the hardcore community on Twitter and on YouTube that go out and play a wide variety of games, they're different to the masses that go out and play Fortnite and PUBG and all your casual games, because that's the common denominator. They're the people that are buying all of these consoles.
Yeah, I agree. But I agree. If you want one, like you said, you can pay $180, play State of Decay when it comes out in a month. You can play PUBG if that's what you want to play. Cuphead is just, there's no reason to complain. That's what I don't understand. So,
I think the real reason they need to understand that the fanboys, they need to understand that they're not the target, that you're not the target consumer at all.
Yeah, because they know you're going to buy it. The fan. Yeah,
it's about the casuals.
Whether you love it or hate it, you're not the target consumer.
Yeah,
they're looking at the general public.
And if you're really like a super fanboy for Xbox, and you're really butthurt over Spider-Man only being on PlayStation, use your voice, and not in the way of let's go petition to get Spider-Man on Xbox. I mean, Marvel has a ton of properties.
Yeah.
The Avengers, they could actually still work with X-Men games now. Fantastic Four, Iron Man, do whatever. Like
Black
Guardians of the Galaxy.
The amount of people that would buy a Black Panther game would be ridiculous.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'd love to see a Black Panther game.
Square Enix are working on the Avengers project.
Yeah, they got Crystal Dynamics that made the last two Tomb Raider games, making a Marvel game right now, and so Avengers game. So go to Phil, tweet at Phil. He's real active on Twitter. Be like, hey, I want a Black Panther. I want a Black Panther game. Make it happen.
Yeah,
use your voice.
Yeah, and I wouldn't. Yeah, I think that's why when people said they got mad when they were doing the Disney thing, whatever it was called, Disney Adventure or something like that. I'm like, guys, Disney owns Marvel, and if you want to start a good working relationship, start slow and then work your way up to those IPs. Not that Phil won't go, and throw a big bomb and say, hey, look, we'll give, we want this IP. Can we get this to develop for? But yeah, that's why I didn't understand when people were like, they were criticized, I think, Microsoft for Disney. I don't know if it's Disney Adventure or Disney something, but Disney's a worldwide billion-dollar company, just as Microsoft is. Why not go ahead and develop a working relationship with that company if you want access to some of their bigger IP down the road? These companies are thinking, 3 to 5 years down the road. So, but yeah, I agree. Yeah, go get those properties. A Black Panther game, you're right, would be huge right now.
Mm-hmm. So, Microsoft need to let Phil spend a lot of money buying just rights to things.
Mm-hmm.
Don't
maybe
bother building new. Don't bother building new, whole new worlds in that, because most people are gonna the sales. People are gonna go out and buy a game if it's got something relevant on it.
Wait, hold on, Blue. I thought you didn't like when people use words that other people use all the time, like fraud. Blue, if you'd like to explain yourself, ma'am. Okay, continue, Tyler.
Like the people that go out to the store, they see a game that, let's say, a film comes out. This is why movie tie-ins were so big 10 years ago. They're gonna see, let's say, in a couple of years when Black Panther 2 inevitably drops, if they see a game that's only on Xbox, they're gonna buy it. So it's just as simple as buying a couple of IPs. Because Microsoft aren't short on cash. They can spend a bit of money if it means that they keep bringing more in. So it's just they need to start acting rational. It's like, do you think Sony managed to just get the license for Spider-Man for free?
No, well, they bought it, for $7 million back in.
They bought it for $7. Yeah, back in '98.
Got that for like a deal, huh?
Yeah. And what they offered them, but get this, Luca, Marvel, because they were coming out of bankruptcy, they offered them everything for $25 million. But Sony's board rejected everything, and they just said, we want Spider-Man. But something else, and Luca, you know this, you mentioned it before, Venom comes out in October. At least that's what it's slated to come out in. And I saw somebody on Twitter saying, well, look, the Spider-Man game doesn't come out till September, so what's the big deal? I said, the big deal is that they will co-market that with the Venom movie. Sony's a movie company. They will co-market Spider-Man because Venom is part of the universe.
Oh, we're getting some Venom DLC.
So when the
video rights to Venom as well.
Yeah. Yo, I would just like to say real quick that Venom movie looks like trash. Okay, continue.
Oh, yeah, everybody seen it. I know. Everybody, that film's gonna be so fucking shit.
But don't be surprised if it be co-marketing, meaning the indirect marketing. The video game coming out, and all of a sudden you see a trailer for Venom.
Let's say you go on Google, you type in Spider-Man because you want to buy a copy of Spider-Man. What comes up? Venom in the news. You're going to look at it.
Yeah.
Same thing. Other way around.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's indirect marketing with Infinity War. That comes out in a couple of weeks. That's indirect marketing.
I got my seats for that shit in a nice theater, man.
Yeah, I'm ready for that one.
I'm so hyper, but I'm so hyped for that shit, man. I'm so excited.
Do you think it makes $200 million opening weekend?
Dude, I don't even know. How much did Black Panther make opening weekend?
Oh, did that go for 218? I can't remember because the number kept adjusting. So and maybe it was 190 something domestic. I can't remember. It was some crazy number. So I know I was way off. I had that movie at 128 million opening weekend. I did not anticipate that type of turnout.
202 million.
Yeah, it's gonna make more than that.
Okay, yeah, it's tracking to make more. So I think it's interesting. It's embarrassing. The Marvel Disney have like the top 3 or 4 grossing like franchise. They have an embarrassment of riches over there.
Fonz, I was just kidding when I said it looked like trash. I was just fucking around. Because Fonz, we haven't seen anything, Luca. I'm like, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, well, I agree. The trailer was just kind of, But I'm just saying it will be some indirect marketing. So that maybe people are like, it's coming out in September. You all have to wait 6 months. I'm like, well, Venom's coming out in 6.5 months, so you see some indirect marketing. Don't be surprised if that happens. So, but again, we're dealing with people who don't think Sony owns the Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So, unfortunately. So
I got you, bro.
Yeah. I'm old though. Get off my lawn.
Get off. Okay.
Do you guys think that the Infinity War movie is going to outsell or I guess out-earn the Black Panther movie?
Yes.
No.
Yeah. Black Panther's gonna hit 1.3 billion. That's probably
it's hit more than that, mate.
It was at 1279.
Oh yeah, it's at 1290. Yeah.
It's at 99. All right. So it ends its run in May? Because that'll be give or take late May, because the SKU is already out for the movie. DVD. So yeah, I think Infinity War, is tracking to do 1.7. So for the total run, 1.7 is the number that I've heard. So which is still, like I said, it's an embarrassment of riches. There's one rich uncle talking to your other rich uncle.
I tell you, when you can make Ant-Man into a interesting movie that does well at the box office, freaking Ant-Man, then you are on a different level of making movies. And
that film would have been
Marvel Studios at some point.
There's a movie coming out in July that nobody's really talking about.
Yeah, it's coming out in July. It looks good.
Yeah.
Fonz, did you say Blade is better than Black Panther?
What? All right.
It's a Marvel property, so like I said, it's an embarrassment.
What?
Yeah, it's an embarrassment.
I saw all the Blade movies. What?
Not just better, way better.
That third one was
well, maybe Fonz is just talking about Blade, the character. I know I can't even co-sign that. No, Blade.
Hey, impossible.
Sorry, Fonz. I can't agree with that. I can't agree with that at all.
Man, John Boyega, don't take this to the bank. There's a hot take that John Boyega is in early talks to play Blade.
That's pretty good.
I don't think he might be in early talks, but I don't think Marvel will go through with it.
I agree. Well, yeah, it's early. They're just having coffee. That's what I like to say. They're having coffee. They're not at lunch.
So. What they need to do is a Miles Morales Spider-Man.
Yeah,
they are. Well, they're doing that animated.
Coming out this fall. There's a Miles Morales cartoon coming out this fall.
That's nice, but I'd like to see him on the big screen.
I'm really annoyed that they didn't cast. Obviously, Donald Glover's a bit too old for that role. But
he's too old now. Yeah. And plus, they already put him in the. He had a cameo in the first movie.
I watched that the other day when Spider-Man it was, all the deets were announced. That's a good film. That is. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, it was better than I thought it was going to be. So
if we don't get a Homecoming suit, though, I'm going to sue.
No, we're going to get a Homecoming suit.
We better get a Homecoming suit.
Yeah,
I will fucking sue Sony at this point.
Don't give them no ideas, young man. Next thing you know, somebody's going to be on Twitter talking about, I filed a class action lawsuit because Sony's being anti-consumer because I can't play on the world.
Oh my God, what have I done?
Oh, by the way, Bongamon's right. Homecoming was trash. I agree. So anyway, we should wrap it up with that, with that thought. And yeah, good shit, guys. Good shit. I didn't know how long this was going to be. I was telling Craig, I was like, oh, it's only going to be like an hour. I don't.
2 hours later.
I don't know why.
2 hours now.
Happy belated birthday, young lady.
Oh, thank you. Oh, yes, it was my birthday on Tuesday, guys. Happy birthday to Luca. You know, shout out to me because I'm amazing. I also just passed 1,000 subs, so shout out to you guys for you know.
Oh, you did it? Yes, you did. Congrats, Luca.
Wait.
So shout out to you guys for stopping by, and you know we got over 100 viewers today, and I was like, oh shit, that's pretty cool. It's great. So
obviously, it's all to do with me. I am obviously the
this
star
makes a lot of
power.
sense.
That's fast, Luca.
Yeah, so you know, I just want to say thank you so much to all of my viewers. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you to David, Kratos, All Day, Ryan, who all stopped by to say, hey, what's up? You know, and then shout out to everyone on the panel right now for sticking through it. You guys are fucking awesome. You know, I really appreciate y'all stopping by and giving me your thoughts on everything that's going on. I think it was a very productive and healthy conversation. No one resorted to any name calling except for me. Yes, also shout out to Enrique. He was also on here. So it's like, yeah, good shit, man. Good fucking shit. But let's do these outros and let's get the fuck out of here. I'm hungry. Go ahead, Tyler.
Shit. Thanks for having me on, I guess.
Mm-hmm. You did very well, and you are definitely welcome anytime.
All right, cool.
Okay.
I didn't expect to be put up first. Right, thanks for having me, I guess. But it was cool to be on a gaming-related podcast again.
Yes. All right, go ahead, Hardhead.
Oh, thank you for having me, Luca. I didn't get to say too much today.
There was like 800 people in here. Listen, I just want to say that the reason there are so many people is because some people who will not be named were like, Luca, I don't know if I can make it. You know, I'm like, okay. So I was just sending that invite out to people. So
it's not say something like that, bastard.
Yeah, okay. So anyway. Oh, and also some people just hopped in after they said they wouldn't. I don't.
Oh man, my bad.
Slow-mo.
Don Julio. Don Julio? Oh, okay. Yeah, all right. So anyway, you know. But yeah, no, it was sorry there's so many people. Gotta get you on here again. Gotta get you on for a Stumpcast episode and shit will be lit.
Oh shit. Yeah. Anytime, Luca. Just hit me with an invite.
For sure. And you know, shout out to Craig for stopping by. Go ahead and do your outro, bro.
Oh yeah, Craig Harris. Sorry I was late, Luke. I wasn't sure about the time. It was my bad. Thanks for having me, and hopefully I didn't step on your toes too much.
No, you're good, bro.
You're more than welcome at any time to pop in on Craig's Corner. Please, I insist one day. Just pop on in and pop out. That'd be great.
Sounds good, bro.
And thanks, panel, great panel, all day. J-Dub, Ryan, the professional, you gentlemen, great panel, great guest. David, the gentleman that left a little bit earlier, great points by everybody, and I really enjoyed it. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. All right, go ahead, Don Julio.
I'm going back to sleep. Dragon Age 2 is trash.
Oh, fuck you. Okay, Slow-mo.
Oh yeah, we're doing this. Dark Souls trash. Don't at me.
Oh my god. Okay.
Oh yeah, I want to ask you, Luca, why you're not playing Dark Souls on the only console it should be played on right now, which is Nintendo Switch?
We're not talking about this right now, man. Like, we're definitely not doing this shit. We're not doing it.
You know, I might buy it on the Nintendo Switch.
I'm sorry. I wanted to buy it on PC, but as soon as I saw that Switch announcement, it was over.
So you would take portability over frames?
Yes. That's why I play 2K on the Switch.
Okay, we're not doing this. Go ahead, Slow-mo.
Hey, Slow-mo backslap. You can catch me on my Twitter, which is at the same name, Slow-mo backslap. Also, I know some people will probably thinking that I'm going to change the picture. It's just a little too soon. I didn't think that we were going to be doing anything today. It'll be changed next week.
Don't do it.
It won't be some dude getting backslapped. It's probably going to be like an animated version of somebody being backslapped. I don't know. It's going to be different. So, you know.
As long as it's somebody being backslapped, then it's acceptable.
Thank you. See, thank you. I got one person that.
I mean, there's always one person that will agree with you, no matter how wrong you are. So.
Oh.
I mean, I'm just saying. Anyway, and I'm Luca, your host, and I will catch you guys later. Peace.
Later.